Hi guys, this is Ales from Ales Gaming TV, and this video is about our full shadow guide. Keep in mind that this is just my recommendation and it doesn't mean that this is the best and only way for you to upgrade your shadows. SLA is not really a hardcore competitive game, that's why you're always free to choose the one that you really like without following any meta. But before we begin, if you would love to see more solo leveling arise content, then please like and subscribe. This will really mean a lot to me and it will give me more opportunities to reach more players all over the world who need guidance and a little bit of entertainment on their journey. So enough said, and let's jump right into the video.
Els Gaming TV.
Shadows are one of the things you can use to increase your damage output. Deploying them at the right time will surely help you beat those difficult stages. So first, let's talk about Igris. Igris is the first shadow you will unlock after you beat Chapter 9. For me, he is the most versatile shadow as of now since his Shadow Authority increases the whole team's critical hit rate. This Shadow Authority is great for your sungjinwoo and all hunters except Choi. Next is his skill. Igris has this skill called Earth Slash and it applies bleed to the target. Unfortunately, this doesn't affect the world boss, but it is still a great addition to his kit. I also recommend that you promote Igris first because it will increase the value of his Shadow Authority and you will be able to unlock his skill Blade Axle. This skill deals a decent amount of damage and applies a buff to Igris that increases his damage by 100% for 10 seconds. The buff effect is actually a huge boost since shadows only last around 15 seconds. So having that kind of damage increase buff will be a big help for Igris to deal decent amount of damage in a short period of time. Next is Iron. Iron is also a great addition to your team since it can provide buffs and debuffs. His Shadow Authority increases the maximum HP of your whole team, that's why if you're using a group of hunters that scales their damage with their HP, then Iron will be a good choice to use. Another good thing about him is his skill called Charge. This one applies a debuff that decreases the defense of the target by 12% for 10 seconds. At first, it doesn't look that good, but this will be a great DPS boost for your team, mostly in those scenarios where you can't use your sungjinwoo to apply the Shadow Step debuff. Once you promote him to Night Class, you will also unlock his skill called Iron Angry. This skill provides a shield that is equal to 10% of Iron's max health. However, keep in mind that this buff only applies to his shadow, but this shield will definitely be useful mostly in game contents where the enemies can one-shot your army. Like when you're doing POD, since the dragon often clears all our shadows in seconds just because of its huge damage. So having an additional defensive kit will allow your shadow army to deal more damage by just surviving. Next will be Tank. Tank is one of the cutest shadows that Sungjinwoo has.
Oh, come on. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Kidding aside, Tank is a unit you should choose if you want to have more ability to immobilize target, because he has this skill called Tank Press that stuns the enemies when the last attack hits. He will definitely be a great addition if you're building a stun lock setup. Once you promote him into Night Class, then Tank will unlock this skill called Overkill. This one deals a great amount of damage and applies a 40% defense increase to all shadows. Just like Iron skill, this is also a decent one since it will allow your shadows to tank more damage in game modes like POD. However, I only suggest that you only choose one between Tank and Iron since the Shadow Army's main goal is to deal more damage within a short period of time. Next will be Blades. If you're new to the game and you're a reader of solo leveling light novel or manhwa, then you will definitely be shocked to see him available here in SLA, since Sungjinwoo wasn't able to claim his shadow in the original story. Blades is one of the best shadow because he deals a good amount of damage and has this Shadow Authority that increases the whole team's attack. But if you will ask me who I will choose between Blades and Igris, I will still choose Igris since there are much more hunters that will benefit from the additional critical hit rate than the additional attack. Another good thing about Blades is that once you promote him into Night Class, he will unlock this skill called Spinning Strike. This one has the same effect as Igris Blade Axle. That's why it will also increase Blade's attack by 100% for 10 seconds. So for me, it's best to prioritize promoting Igris and Blades to get these skills since it will allow your Shadow Army to deal higher DPS, which is extremely helpful when completing dungeons. Lastly, we will also discuss the upcoming Shadowtus. But for this one, we will only rely on leak information, so there's still a big chance that TOS will have a different kit than what we can see in this image. So as you can see here, TOS Shadow Authority will increase the team's core attack by 40%. It is indeed the good Shadow Authority, but always keep in mind that the boost will only affect core attacks, which means that our basic attack, skills, and ultimate will not be affected. So for me, Igris Shadow Authority will still be much better. Once you promote TOS into Night class, you will unlock this skill called Concentrated Heat. This one has good damage output, but the best thing about it is that it applies buff to all shadows that increase their attack by 30% for 10 seconds. If you're planning to build a glass cannon army, then TOS will definitely be the best shadow to complete your DPS team. But for me, I would still choose Iron since I'm often pushing higher stages of the game that have a big total power difference. So a little bit of survivability will help my army of shadows deal much more damage. Staying alive for 15 seconds will still have a better damage output compared to a full DPS army that will be deleted in 2 hits. So that's it. I hope I was able to help you learn more about how you should choose your shadows. You can comment down below if you think I missed some information or if you have any suggestions on what we should tackle next. Also, remember to play this game at your own pace, never get burnout, and always have fun. Till next time, peace!
I'll break through with my own strength. Let's try.
Can't catch me!
The strongest healer has appeared! You can't avoid it!
Flash.
You can't avoid it!
Flash.
The strongest healer has appeared!
Flash. Too slow. Wonder how many levels I'll get here. I see it all. An opening. You're an unworthy opponent.
The strongest healer has appeared! It's no use!
Flash.
You can't avoid it!
I still have a long way to go.